Hi, my name's Chris Welch. I'm the owner of piano-s.com. It's good to sort of look at you properly from my website on here on Facebook. I do have a website as well called piano-s.com. But we don't sell pianos anymore. The reason is, I'm just going to show you Market Trader, okay, from Facebook. And this is the reason why it's very difficult for us to sell the sort of pianos we would have normally sold. We would have normally chosen really cracking pianos, the best we could find, put in the work, make sure they're ready, supply a warranty, then remove them, and then after 6 weeks tune them. And we would charge a price for that en bloc. You still have to, there's no way getting round the fact that you've got to leave pianos to rest, unless they're so bad that it's probably best to tune them and deliver them and then work out some price there. So that's what we do now. Some of us do. I'm a restorer, so I got into moving pianos so that I could restore them, take them to my workshop. Believe it or not, through that door, we used to have about 10 to 15 pianos, and then it just wasn't worth doing. Our footfall wasn't enough, and we weren't a shop. We weren't a high street anyway. But we did it part and parcel of the whole tuning life, restoring life, largely out on the road, and pulling in people to help where necessary, but I was never a high street presence. So what I thought we'd do today, how about looking at some of what's on sale? You see, it's okay looking at these pianos. I mean, look at this. This is a free Broadwood Grand, right? You couldn't get that for less than 2,000, 3,000. Just a handful of years ago, really. The idea that Broadwood Grand, Broadwood is the number one piano in the sense that they invented the piano. Now, a lot of people don't know that, and they just know that Steinway, the big makes, Steinway, Bechstein, maybe, Yamaha, of course, people have heard of. But the idea that Broadwood is now free. So I was thinking, well, you probably need to know that we can get that to your house. If you pay us to remove it, make sure it's okay. It shouldn't be really any reason for it not to be okay, unless maybe that's why it's free. Absolutely untunable. But that's what you need. You need someone to let you know what's a good one. Just because it's free doesn't mean it's good. This one is amazing. I'm pretty sure that one would be pretty cool, I think. Unless it's just, they've just put the name Strawmenger on to impress people. But that's called a Behringer and Strawmenger. But it looks to me like that's a bit of quality there. And that's free. So this is all mad. So I've never involved myself with electronic. Electronic lose their value more or less, like any computer, as soon as it's bought. But these things, let's have a look at this one. This is a Challen with the BBC piano. How amazing is that? Because the BBC Centre, BBC recording studio was right next door virtually to the factory, the Challen factory. What else have we got? I like Wilfred Steinman. See, there it is in Worthing. You pay me to deliver it to your house. I'm pretty clear, I think I'll be pretty safe in saying that's a cracking piano. And the fact that it's free is ridiculous. I know we were selling those for 1,000. Don't know how recently, but certainly in my career I was doing that. piano berry. Some of these lookers, but the basic idea with pianos is that the better they look, the more rubbish they are, because they were made during. You see, look at that. To actually be able to employ someone to do marquetry like that goes back to an era where of labour being at a certain price, and then really coming into the modern era, you couldn't do that. You couldn't supply pianos like that, and it actually is the era when they're still developing the piano itself. So, yeah, looks a bit rough to me. I mean, obviously, I can't tell for sure without looking at the insides. So this is the problem. Unless you know what you're looking for, but I can advise you on what would be a good one. That would be quite good. The Baldwin one would be quite good. Miniature piano, what's that then? I think that's one of these mini piano 6-octave things with the 2 pedals. Yeah. Pianino, I think they're called. Or were they? Or were they something else? These ones, best avoid. See, without knowing that, it looked great, wouldn't it? But actually, they're a real pain when they go wrong, and if the tuning pins get too dry, you can't simply replace those off the peg. About 10, 15 years ago, there was somebody making the special pegs for that type of piano. But whether they still do, I don't know. How are you going to know this stuff? How are you going to know this stuff unless someone advises you and picks your way through? So all these things are free. But the problem with pianos is it's not a light decision. You can't just take it home in a bag, can you? These are 1/4 of a ton. So you want to be right. You don't want to pay for 2 lots of removal, do you? In and out. What's that one? Can you see that? Can you see that? That's... Can't quite make that out. Looks good. Looks all right. I wonder if that's the Russian period. Probably, unless it's a Beckstein, really classy. But I can't make that out. Well, what's it say here? Oh, does it say? This piano. Oh, Reedson, sorry. It's a Reedson. That's a great piano. That's really good. It's a Reedson. So you got the pianos up until the 1960s. They weren't made with central heating in mind, right? So if you live in fairly warm environments, you better really choose something made since the 60s. Before that, keep them in a cool environment. You should keep them in a cool environment anyway. These are all going to be good. Kawais. That's a sort of mid-range size, mid-range height. The smallest ones are about 1 metre high, or 110 or something. This is a 114 centimetre. Zimmerman, that'd be okay. If you wanted to pay some money, and it is worth it these days. I mean, you get, it's up to you whether you want to pay 3,000 for a Yamaha, but that's what they're worth. That's a great price. Conrad and Conrad are surprisingly well known among the trade, but you'd have never heard of them. That's a good piano. That'll be a good piano. They're good, solid, well-made things, Conrad and Conrad. We go further afield, up to Solihull, Middlesbrough. Grand piano, it's a beautiful one, isn't it? 500. That's probably, I think that's looks like the people we used to serve up in the Maidenhead area. Swansea. Any more real crackers? Not one with cracked soundboards. Really good ones. And it gives you an idea. So I can deliver them for you. I can make sure they're tuned, make sure that the tuning pins are stiff. But obviously I can't get in the process of buying and selling at this kind of price. So you'd be arranging it with someone. So providing it wasn't too far, I'd be willing to go out to a few of you asking. I'm not going to go to Nottingham for this, but if it was around the Portsmouth area, I'd check it out for you and see if I thought, that's a good one to take away. So see what you think.